TF.com, and hello to our viewers watching us on YouTube as well. Coach Gary Goff, you have one of your young football players sitting next to you. Why don't you go ahead and introduce our next guest here on the show?
Yeah, we do. His name is Marcus Beaurem. He's one of our receivers, and Marcus transferred to us from Bowling Green, and he is one of our utility players, really. We can line him up at wideout, slot, even in the backfield on some things, and a very electrifying player, and we always trying to find ways to get the ball in his hands. So, Marcus, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thanks for joining us, Marcus. First of all, tell us a little bit where you're from. You're from Detroit, right?
Yes, sir.
And tell us a little bit about the path that brought you from Detroit, ended up being Tiffin University Dragon.
Well, yeah, like Coach said, I transferred from Bowling Green, and my Little League coach actually got in contact with our previous wide receiver coach, Coach Campbell, and thought that I should come take a visit. So me and my dad came down on a Tuesday, and like what we saw, we liked the direction that Coach Goff was taking the team, and we liked the air raid offense, of course, being a receiver.
Well, yeah. That's the first thing Obadiah said when he was on the show, too.
Yeah, so and then that next day, Wednesday, I was down here for camp.
All right, and so what are you studying here at Tiffin University?
Sports management.
Sports management,
yes,
and
sir.
You are in the classroom. You're a sophomore?
Junior.
Junior in the classroom. On the field, are you a junior
sophomore.
as well? Sophomore on the field. All right.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Coach, tell us a little bit more about some of the strengths he brings to your football team.
Well, he's very quick, an elusive receiver, and he kind of took us a little while to get used to him because he's so fluent. And when he runs, you look at him sometimes, you think he's not running, And so, we're yelling at him at practice and camp. Hey, Marcus, run, Coach. I am running. No, you're not. Come on. And he really is. And then he gets the ball in his hands and he turns it up just a little bit, more. So he is a very smooth runner and got great hands. It's part of this offense is having receivers that understand defenses. Run through man coverage and sit in zone coverage.
Sure.
And as our receivers, get older and older, it's easier for them to understand defenses, on their second step. We always talk about reading the defense quick. And, Mark is one of those guys that we can put in the slot and he understands, it's zone right here, sit, you're wide open, And we moved him outside last week because of an injury to Obadiah Dykes. And, he had 8 catches for us, 110 yards.
Yeah.
And, we expect the same thing this weekend, really. So.
Well, talk a little bit about last week's game. Seemed to be working real well with your quarterback, Dan Pitts, last week, finding the open seams and getting the ball. Just some way you play football match up with the way they were playing defense. What was it that made last week so productive for you?
Well, I just tried to step in, and be a good, teammate and just try to help my team when they needed me. I kind of let them down early in the third quarter when I dropped the screen, but luckily I was able to make it up. And then Dan having so much confidence in me to, give me the ball. And I was just trying to make plays. I was pretty happy. Not that we lost, but happy that, I got a first 100-yard game, like under my belt. But, it just all comes from coach and the play calling, Dan having confidence in me and the line to, protect Dan so that he can't give me the ball.
Well, Marcus bounced back pretty good right there, in a game situation. And, there's a lot of emotions running around and everybody's intense. And, part of this offense, too, we throw the ball, you're going to have drops. That's just part of it, But, when that happens, we're never happy. So, Marcus came over there and he was upset about it. I was upset about it. And he said, Coach, my bad. I said, hey, I don't want to hear my bad. I don't want to hear that. You get out there and you play receiver like you know how. And he responded. He went out there with 8 catches and 110 yards. So maybe I'll just say that to you before kickoff this week.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it this week, Marcus. Well, talk about what do you feel your strengths are that you bring to this football team that you can put on the football field?
Speed, hands. I think I'm a pretty dependable catcher. And I just like to be in the game, like when my team needs me. Fourth quarter, I want to be that go-to guy. And I know we have a lot of go-to guys on this team. So I feel whichever number coach calls, somebody's gonna be there to make that play. But being a competitor, being a good wide receiver, I feel that when my number's called, I want to be the one to make that play.
You want those kids. You want that attitude of your kids. I want to be the one that makes that play.
Yeah, definitely. You want the skill players to be the ones that say, hey, I want the ball in my hands right now, Coach. Or likewise on defense, hey, Coach, I dare him to throw my way.
Yeah.
Most definitely. If you got a receiver, especially in this offense that you look in their eyes in crunch time and they're don't throw to me, they should never be on the field anyway.
Exactly. Exactly. So. Well, Marcus, you even referenced the offensive line a little while ago. It's pretty well documented how beat up that offensive line's been this year, and all those young kids playing out there. You're on the field with them. You've really seen how much they've improved and grown. It's probably been pretty nice to see, considering that youth that's out there.
Yes, sir. We all got to have confidence in our O-line. That's the engine. So we all got to feed some type of motivation. And every time we go out there, we always go to them first and like, hey, we depending on y'all. Let's go. Let's get this drive going. So,
it's been a work in progress, but our entire team, program, everybody, can't speak highly enough of those offensive linemen that were thrown into the fire this year on a year that we thought we had depth. And there's
it's a good thing you did.
Well, we did. We lost it real fast to injuries. But that's part of the game. There's nothing you can do about that. But it's kind of funny to hear a receiver talk about that, and it really opens your eyes to wow. Everybody understands that offensive lineman's come a long way.
Yeah. Well, it's all about being part of a team, right? It's 11 guys on each side of the ball doing their individual things to all become together as one. Yes, that's probably something you really enjoy about playing football, being a part of the team.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I tried to, get back because last year we didn't really have that chemistry, and I just tried to go back to doing what I knew that I can do, like being a part of a good high school team. We always did.
I watched a couple of your highlights today when the coach told me you were going to come on.
Yeah, we did a lot of brotherly things off the field, and this year we really got back to doing that. We're going back to the guys that stayed over summer. Like a couple of us went to Cedar Point over the summer. So, we just try to get back to developing team chemistry because that's where it starts.
That's team building practices, such as like Marcus said, just going to Cedar Point with your teammates during the offseason. Right. Things like that is very important, isn't it, to build that cohesive unit?
Well, that's why football is so unique.
Yeah.
You just can't go out there and, all right, 11 guys get out there, let's run a play. It's not that easy. And, I used to have a coach that always told us that, hey, either you go off to play college football or you join the service, because those are the only two things left that are going to make you a man. And in some ways I understand that.
Yeah.
To play football, especially at this level, you're out there, 8 months, out of the year, and you're with your teammates. You're going to have your ups and your downs, but you got to make sure that guy's got your back and you've got his.
Sure.
And it's like a family. It's a family atmosphere. You always fight with your brother and sister, but you still love them.
Yeah,
you got
exactly.
You got their back no matter what.
Exactly.
So our team has grown closer. We need to continue that. Building blocks and all that stuff is very, very important in the off season. That's where you get your team chemistry and you create leadership.
Marcus, you referenced last year and talking about this year. Talk a bit from a player's perspective, how much different it's been this year. Just the attitude of the team, the direction of the team compared to where you were last year when Coach came in really on a whirlwind just to get the season started.
Last year, it really wasn't. Like this year, it was a lot of freshmen. Well, not a lot, but it was a lot of freshmen.
Well, it's a lot. There's a lot
that came in and contributed to what we got going on this year. And last year it wasn't. I didn't feel we had that. But just everybody's the big Nike change. I feel that helped a lot.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, leave it to a receiver to say something about the gear.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, once we got Nike, everything was great.
I was faster. I was a little bit faster. Yeah.
No question. I'm with you though, Marcus. I understand.
Yeah. Well, it all works together, right? It's all part of the big picture.
That was one of the first things Coach Goff said to me, that he was a big gear guy and he wanted us to look nice. So I feel that helped a lot. And like I said, just being more of a team, just being more brothers, and everybody's kind of fighting for each other, and you can see it progress throughout the week.
Well, how important is it for you to get this win this last week, regular season? Speaking of your brothers, the kids who are seniors, sending them out on that high note and getting these young kids to help build you towards your senior year over the next couple of years. How important is this final week?
Yeah, that's perfect. We want to send them out on a good note, especially some of the a couple seniors that got knocked out due to injury.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So we want to send them out on a good note, and then go into the off season on a good note and come back in spring ball feeling good about ourselves. Got that win, and hopefully trying to get a win streak going on for next year.
Well, I've talked to the team about this group of seniors. Very small group. What'd you say? You mentioned 6.
I think I mentioned 6 of them during the broadcast last week.
Very, very small group. But those guys have been here through a lot. Mm-hmm. If you think about it. I mean, at the start of this year, Colin Boone raised his hand at a team meet, and he said, "Coach, you understand that us seniors have only won one game in our entire career. That's horrible.
That's tough.
That is, and you feel bad for them, But for those guys to stick here through all this change, You know, they deserve it. You know, they deserve it. They've seen the bad, the ugly, and they've seen the good, and they've seen the direction we're going. But you know, nothing to make me happier than for those guys to get a win on senior day and send them out of here. So.
And what do you think, Marcus? Just last couple of questions before we let you go. What can you improve on the most in this offseason to make the Tiffin University Dragon football team a better team next year?
Blocking.
Blocking?
Play it simple. My coaches always get on me about blocking. I mean, that's just something that, like, I take pride in it, but it's just something I got to take pride in on a consistent basis.
Yeah, it's all part of it. It's part of playing the position.
Yeah, my position coach, Coach Yeast, wants me to go into the offseason and become more tougher, get more physical in the weight room. So that's really my main goal, because I want them to be able to depend on me to get that block. If a running back busts out on the corner and it's me against the corner, then I want to be the one to.
You're the one who can spring him. And when you know what? Blocking is not a glorified thing to do in the football field, but when you're a receiver and you make that block that springs the running back, you get mentioned.
Yes, sir. And then it kind of got in my head last night watching the Falcons and Falcons and Cowboys, because all they talked about was Julio Jones and Roddy White being a complete wide receiver and blocking. So that's something I want.
Well, every great run, there is a great block downfield.
There has to be
made by somebody.
Yeah, you know, absolutely. So. Well, Marcus, we talked about your high school. Why don't you give your high school a shout-out here real quick in case your friends are watching back home?
Sterling Heights Stevenson. I know they had a good year this year. I didn't really keep up with them. I think
you're a little busy.
But, yeah. Sterling Heights Stevenson Titans.
Well, Marcus, I really appreciate you coming down and chatting with us today. I think I've seen your parents at the ball games. They wear the shirt with your name on the back a little bit. If I think I'm thinking of the right people, I think they always like to have a good time, always giggling and laughing and joking around. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Make sure you give them our best as well, okay?
Yes, sir.
His name's Marcus Beaurem, wide receiver out of the Detroit area in Michigan. One of the fine football players on the Tiffin University Dragons. Coach, we're going to take a break and come back with your quarterback, Dan Pitts.
Perfect.
We'll be back after this on the Tiffin University Football Dragon Radio Network.